welcome back to episode 2 of the F1 podcast with myself, Robin, and two familiar voices of the last episode, Corey and Sid. Say hello.
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 Nice to be back. We haven't quite decided on a name, so we're gonna just keep it boring. F1, you know. I mean, that's what we're talking about. So, obviously, I think firstly, what we got to talk about, that Max Verstappen, third-time world champion.
Whoop whoop, let's go.
Corey's thrilled, I'm sure.
I love it. Feel great about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Just crazy. I don't know. 3 times.
Yeah.
It's weird thinking that like he's got 3 already. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean he joins.
2 real ones, obviously.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Let's not get into that.
It's fine.
Just you gotta make it known, you know.
Mm-hmm.
No.
But I've saw like this thing online. I don't know. I'll see what you guys get your thoughts on this. Where it's like the reason why people don't like Max's dominance because when he wins or like with his third championship now, people feel like he doesn't seem like very passionate. Like when he wins, he just seems like yeah, good win or whatever. Whereas like Hamilton or Vettel, you know, they were like really passionate. You know, like every win, you know, felt like it was like their first or something.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if you guys. You know, what do you guys think about like that sort of thing that I saw online?
Max has been saying like a lot of the times, like he's said like it's not that interesting to him because he just knows he's gonna win the race.
Yeah, I have saw that.
It's like how can you really celebrate it when you just know that you're just like that dominant over everyone else on the like and your car's that much better. Like it's not the most interesting thing to watch when someone knows they're gonna win and then they win. Like I don't know.
I think it's because like pretty much like you know because halfway through the season he pretty much won it.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like sort of like celebrating like halfway through, but now it's like you're confirmed won when like you pretty much won like how many races ago. So it's sort of like it's a bit weird. Whereas like if you're like when he won his first championship, obviously it's like you know you're winning on the last lap of the last race of the season. You know, and it was like a tiring, really long, arduous season
against Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, like you know, so. Yeah. That's like obviously way different. Whereas like there you'd be like full of adrenaline. Here it's just like, you know, pretty much just feels like another race. But
I mean, he's not exactly known for like big celebrations. Even every time he's won a race.
That's really what I was thinking as well. Where it's like, yeah, it's sort of true. Where it's like he doesn't seem as like energetic, but that's sort of like him as a person kind of as well. So it's like a bit the personality, but also like if you win so much in a row, you know, when it's so dominant, it's just a bit. Yeah, so I don't know. I just thought I'd bring it up because I saw that.
It does definitely stand in contrast to like Vettel, where you were like celebrating every pole position like it was his first ever one.
Yep.
Yeah,
like, Vettel, Fernando Alonso.
Oh yeah.
I mean, fair enough.
I think those they just like love the sport like so much, and so it's like just the thrill, especially Alonso because you know he's like so old now and he still loves racing. Like
what are you talking about? He's a rookie.
That elderly man they've somehow got into an F1 car.
Oldest rookie known to man. Yeah. All right. So obviously last race Qatar, sprint race. Let's get into it.
Actually, before sprint, sorry, Robin.
No.
Yeah, we should mention qualifying because I was watching qualifying. And
actually, wait. Okay, I'll stop you.
Oh, okay. Uno reverse car.
Okay, so what I don't know how they. Well, I do know how they should change it, but I don't like how the qualifying's on Friday, right? Then you have the like mini qualifying and sprint on Saturday. So then I'm already thinking about that, and then it's the race on Sunday. So then I've already forgotten like the qualifying on Friday. So it's just a bit like. I don't like how it's like out of order. You know, I prefer if it's like the sprints on Friday, you have all that in its self-contained thing. Yeah. Then you have again on Saturday you have the quali, then Sunday the race. Yeah. Because I just don't like the qualifying on Friday because then I've already forgotten about it by the time it's Sunday. Then I'm like, oh, it's actually like Max on pole. It's like okay.
That's
also,
true.
It's
just like
I'm still like anti the sprint race format. I don't like it.
Really?
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't enjoy it. I'm just like I want to watch the race on Sunday.
That's true.
I know what you mean. I'm like.
I feel like with the sprint race you've like given up your whole weekend to F1, and it's like I do have things I want to do on a Saturday.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you telling me you don't only watch F1 your entire life?
That's
how could you?
I do have a social life. I don't know.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm 50-50 on it. Like, you know, obviously.
I mean, some of them have been great, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I actually prefer last year's race format where when they used to qualify and then the sprint used to happen and then no matter what happens in the sprint, that's where you start the actual race.
I completely disagree.
Really?
I literally wrote down before I got here, I was like, I like the sprint format better. Like, this is actually so funny you bring it up.
Oh.
I think this version, like not the way they do it, the version where, because before, like you said, you have the sprint, and where you place it in the sprint, that's where you start in the race.
Yeah.
Now, that sounds, good because then it makes the sprint important. However, it means you can't really take risks in the sprint because if you crash or if you make a mistake, you lose all the places, you're going to have a terrible start in the race. So, obviously I didn't look back on every sprint race when they had that, but I'm pretty sure it led to like more boring sprints where people were very careful on the start. They didn't want to make any mistakes, rightfully so, because if you mess up, then you're going to be at the back or you're going to lose a lot of places on the all-important race day. Because back then as well, you'd only get points for the top 3, so everyone else didn't care pretty much about that. It was all about maintaining the car, not crashing, and, keeping that place for the race. So, yeah, that's...
Yeah,
I mean-
but it was a bit silly goofy, right? It was a bit silly. Like, it was more, like, funny. Like, there was more chance of, like, someone who should be at the front starting, like, near the back, which I did think was fun. But I do agree that the sprint races that year were pretty fucking...
Yeah.
Pretty dull.
Yeah. No, that's
Apart
true.
from, like, that one really good one.
I mean, I think
I
it
can't
could have
remember what it
been
was.
different if they gave points to the top 10.
Yeah, the top
Yeah,
3
yeah,
points
yeah,
was
yeah.
bad.
That
The
was
top
really-
three-
I think,
top
yeah.
3 points was horrible.
I would have liked to see it if it was different with, like,
Let's see.
if everyone got a point, but obviously...
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
not
can
sure
see that,
about that. Mhm.
Obviously, the sprint race was really exciting, or like, it was
Oh, yeah.
pretty good,
Mm.
so...
Oscar
like-
Piastri. It's
Oscar
almost like we
Piastri.
called it when we said that McLaren had the best driver lineup last
Yeah.
podcast.
well-
Isn't it funny that Oscar's won a race before Lando has, though?
Don't do that.
Yeah,
Kevin,
but-
don't do that.
Like,
This is also what I'm
as,
saying.
not
Yeah.
as shade on Lando, just I
Yes.
think it's funny.
True. That's true. That's
Daniel
very
Yeah.
Ricciardo got the McLaren win before Lando did as well.
Mm.
It's like, oh,
But-
man.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't technically see it as like a win. Obviously, it's like
It's not
something.
just a
It's
sprint.
like
yeah.
it's like one of those where you brought back to like where you don't like the sprint. It's like one of the reasons I don't like it. Where it's weird. How do you value like the win or like where you place on it? You know what I mean? Because obviously, if you like get pole and then you win, like Oscar, it's like that's really good. But at the end of the day, it's not exactly like a full-on race. So it's like, it's just
Yeah.
one of those where.
It's like a half qualifying, half race, but it's
Yeah.
not qualifying at all. But it's also not a full race. It's weird.
Yeah.
I think that's why I don't like them really.
Yeah.
Like, just I'm like.
Yeah, I mean, if we put the whole debate aside, if you like them or not, sorry guys.
No,
The
that's-
sprint was banging. This sprint
Yeah.
was really really good.
Mm.
I mean, obviously we saw Max Verstappen was third, I think, on the grid, and then it was McLaren 1-2, the front row for McLaren. And yeah, man, the sprint was really really nice. We saw how many crashes? There were like I was watching the replay yesterday. There were like 5 crashes.
Yeah, on the start, like.
Yeah, 5 DNFs, and yeah, that was really really nice. And I would say one thing that really struck me here was George Russell's pace throughout the weekend. He was on it.
He had good
Mm.
pace. He was,
Yeah.
yeah.
He was like really really fast. I mean, if we all know what happened at the
Yeah,
beginning
I
of the race.
I wish that hadn't happened just so we could see what George Russell
Yeah.
could have done because he
Yeah.
was good that race.
Yeah, for context, on the first corner, both the Mercedes collided. I'm sorry, Corey.
A single
and-
tear or something. My face.
Yeah, and Hamilton couldn't rejoin, but Russell went all the way down to last.
Yeah.
and
But that was in
then-
the race, not the sprint.
Yeah, that was in the
Yeah.
race.
Yeah,
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 my bad,
so-
my bad. Yeah. No, I was just quoting that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. That was like what we were talking about like last week, where it was like the like inevitability with like Russell
Both
and
of them,
Hamilton.
yeah.
Like eventually,
The
I feel
tension
like
is there.
something was gonna happen. Either like literally what happened this race, where no one was gonna like give an inch, and then the inevitable happened. And
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what you think, Corey, but I think Hamilton was in the wrong
Oh,
there.
I think Hamilton thinks Hamilton was in the wrong.
Yeah, he
there.
apologized.
He has apologized.
He has
Okay,
apologized.
okay.
I'm not gonna sit there and defend an obvious error.
Yeah.
But it was a first lap mistake, to be fair.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Like,
It
Racing
wasn't.
incident.
It wasn't that bad, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like he tried to go on the outside, and
Like,
just wasn't enough space.
yeah.
And Russell and Max were like together. So
and I don't think there's like major hard feelings in the Mercedes garage, to be fair. Like obviously right after the race there was, but I think
yeah,
by the sounds of it, apologized and spoke.
Yeah.
I mean,
So-
it's not the first time they've had two teammates fighting amongst each other, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but I- it seems
they're
less-
pretty used to it by now.
It seems slightly less personal than
Mm.
the Hamilton Rosberg era.
Oh.
Slightly less childhood
Yeah.
friends to
Yeah.
actual bitter enemies.
Yeah, no, but I mean, another thing I noticed was, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place today. If you go back to qualifying, the amount of
let's finish one section of the
Any
weekend,
train of
and then
thought.
we'll move on.
no thoughts,
Head empty.
head empty.
For
yeah.
real.
No, but the amount of track times that were deleted.
Oh,
Like-
yeah.
Oh.
Okay, yeah.
Whoa.
We did forget about that. That was
Through
a
the
big
whole
one.
weekend as well.
Yeah, I thought it
in
was
the
like a
races,
big
yeah.
topic to talk
That
about
was
because
funny.
my man Lando couldn't set a lap time.
Yeah.
It was so annoying to see. I mean, and his car had pace. He was like 2/10 off Max Verstappen, and he just couldn't complete a single lap.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, the Qatar changed their the track mid weekend, which was really crazy.
So weird.
Even
Um,
crazier.
Yeah, I mean, I think they changed some corners, and then they changed the was it the surface or was it the apexes, something like that, where they made it into like triangles or something like that, and it was so weird. But yeah, this place was
Was it the
Qatar
curve?
was
Do
like
you think that the changes just caught out like most of the drivers because it was like all new, and then they weren't expecting like
oh yeah, 100%. Especially, I mean, everything included the heat, the sand.
Yeah.
The
oh yeah, the
tires-
sand, like wasn't it like if you run off the racing line it's like really bad?
Yeah, especially in practice one, it was really bad. It was
Yeah.
like driving on ice apparently.
Okay, yeah.
And
I was gonna mention something in the race, but I was like, let's not flip.
Come on, let's stay with one topic. We can do it. I believe in us.
okay, what's next, guys? You tell me. I will talk about it.
All right. All right. So I think we're finally done with qualifying,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
then
Yeah.
just the main like we talked mostly everything about the sprint, but like the main like when I was looking back on it, the main like story of it was pretty much like the drivers that were on softs versus like mediums, pretty much. So
Mhm.
like I can't remember if it was like George or something. I think
George was
I
on
think both
softs.
Mercedes were on. Actually, no, because Hamilton was like way back.
Hamilton was
back. He was on mediums. Yeah. Anyways, so like obviously the first like 5-8 laps, everyone on softs were like
yeah. Oh yeah.
pushing it.
They were
That's,
like
that's what made
rockets.
that's what made the sprint really exciting. Was
Mm.
like not exactly half, but like quite a few were on softs versus the mediums. So the people on softs were actually making these overtakes happen, which was making the race obviously exciting because everyone wants to see overtakes. But then once it hits that like 8th, 10th lap,
Yeah.
then the mediums got into that exact zone.
Yeah.
The softs like petered off a bit, weared off a bit, and then they had to like fight hard, and then the mediums came back like much better, and they were better at the end of the race.
That's
so
true. I actually thought that the softs could actually make it to the end of 19 laps because we had 3 safety cars in the sprint.
that is true. That is true.
And I mean, I thought that Russell could actually pull it off because he didn't. There were not many racing laps amidst all that confusion and chaos. So,
Yeah.
but then again, we just saw how high the tire deck was, and
Hmm.
Oscar just took a beautiful win.
Mm.
Yeah, it was good. All right, so let's move on to the race. Like we said,
Mhm.
Mercedes crashing lap 1. Not good, but
Not good. Not good for me. And my
Yeah.
poor soul. My poor Mercedes fan soul.
but yeah, it did lead to exciting because then like it gave
Yeah.
George could like
George
Just,
George had a
hella
good race.
overtakes, yeah.
If you ignore the fact that he wasn't last at the start of it,
yeah.
he had a very good race.
So it was good for us watching, I guess, because then
Yeah.
you could see a lot more overtakes and
Good
stuff.
for you watching. Not good for
That's
me.
true. I mean, Corey, if it's any consolation, on lap 1, Max was I think like 3 centimeters away from being taken out.
Yeah.
So you're getting there. It's close.
One day,
It's close.
not to root for any crashes, but if someone's got to, why is it always
Yeah.
my guys?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, but I mean, Lando had a shocking start.
Yeah.
He fell
Yeah.
down quite a lot. But I mean, Oscar held it together. It doesn't seem like he's a rookie. I mean, I
True,
guess
I
I
was
should keep
thinking-
mentioning
He's
that
doing good.
it's his first year in Formula One, and he's
Mm.
doing so well. But yeah, I mean, George Russell came back, ended up 4th after that whole thing, which I mean,
That was a good. I mean,
It's a
Yeah.
good recovery.
That's-
Like,
yeah,
fourth
yeah.
is where you would...
considering like you get past like Charles Leclerc somehow, and
oh yeah,
and
Yeah.
Perez not showing anything,
Yeah,
and
Perez.
George ends up 4th out of that lot when you
It's-
crash at the start.
Exactly.
For a Mercedes, that's a pretty good Mercedes weekend this
That's-
year.
yeah.
A fourth.
Yeah.
Like,
Hamilton out. That's a good
No,
weekend.
That's
You're
not
right,
what I
Corey.
said.
I don't
Don't
disagree.
put words in my mouth.
Oh.
I feel like one of the main stories of the race that we should definitely touch on, though, is the conditions for the drivers.
Yep.
The fact that Esteban Ocon was vomiting in his crash helmet.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Drivers passing out after the race.
Yeah.
Logan Sargent retiring, obviously.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just not good.
I mean, and no one was talking about this until the race ended.
Mm.
And-
I saw a lot about it with with
And
Logan
yeah, I mean,
Sargent.
obviously we heard Sargent's
Yeah.
Radio, and then we were like, oh yeah, this is
This
actually
is-
happening.
yeah.
Because we are not new to night races in the desert. It's nothing
Yeah.
new. But then Qatar at this time of the year is just so bad,
Yeah,
especially
it
for obviously the drivers. But also, we saw Pirelli saying that the tires can't go more than 18 laps.
And with the fact that the tyres were going 18 laps, there was quali lap after quali lap for the drivers.
yeah,
Like they
yeah.
were saying that it was like so physical. There was no
Yeah.
like tyre management.
Yeah, and it was worse than Singapore. That's what some drivers
Yeah.
said, which is
I think most drivers would agree that it was worse than Singapore.
yeah,
To be fair.
which is like
It's so interesting and weird at the same time because when did you last see where it's like the heat gets the drivers this is
Yeah.
some old school
Yeah.
stuff where drivers I forgot which driver that was where he gets out of his car and then he almost faints or something on the podium or something like that. This was
oh yeah,
this was in
yeah.
the 80s or
I don't-
70s
I know
or
what
something.
It's Mark Webber vomiting in his helmet again. It feels like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
something of the past.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
it's
no,
weird
it's
that it's happening.
again.
It's
like,
happening now.
That's
yeah.
weird.
Yeah, and everyone said it was their the most physically demanding race
Yeah.
of their career so far.
Yeah,
Um,
like you mentioned with you're only allowed to go 18 laps.
Yeah.
Obviously, it made the more stops, so it's more exciting because then it's
Mm.
you got to think about the strategy. Then it's more overtakes.
Mm.
Yeah.
With the quali laps, so
Yeah,
everyone's going full on.
No one
but
likes watching a full tyre management race.
one, yeah,
obviously,
a
Exactly.
one
but-
stopper where it's
Yeah.
one overtake.
Yeah.
It's on the start of the race or
You're like,
something.
oh, great, thank you.
Or it's
Thank you,
or it's
F1, very
the
cool.
or it's the Williams at the back fighting.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, this is what they're showing.
A Williams overtaking a Haas, and you're
Yeah,
like,
this is
oh,
what-
Albon v Bottas, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's we're seeing
Go
this on
on.
lap 55 of lap 57. Okay,
Okay.
that's what I want to see.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I don't know. It was-
But definitely not a good race for safety.
Yeah,
I think Lance Stroll said something about passing out in the car, and it's like if you fully pass
That
out in
is-
that car, that's so dangerous.
yeah, it's a 300 mile an hour
Oh,
rocket.
you'd
Yeah.
probably die because when you're in a crash, you brace, right? So
Yeah.
if you're if you're
Yeah, depending on obviously where it happened.
Yeah, I mean, to be
obviously, but
fair-
it's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
Because you
It
can't even
is, that's
brace.
true.
That's literally what the drivers train
That's
for.
true. I
It's
mean, yeah, it brings me back to that Felipe Massa thing where he got hit with the screw and his
Mm.
helmet,
Yeah.
and he passed out and he went straight into a wall. And yeah, I mean, obviously safety has taken a big leap from that time, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
obviously so
But
dangerous.
a driver can't pass out in a car
Yeah,
and it be
it's
safe.
so
like-
dangerous.
yeah, 300 on a straight,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
you're just
mean,
going.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Logan Sargent, but then I mean, seeing him struggle, it wasn't really
Yeah,
nice.
and
yeah, obviously you don't have to be a fan of a driver
To
to
not
be
want him to
sympathetic.
be like
yeah.
Exactly. No, no.
really
I mean,
ill.
yeah, no, that's. I didn't mean to come across that.
No,
way,
no,
but
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Said you just don't like people. You just.
What
You
can I
just,
say?
if you
I'm
don't like them
sorry.
enough, you do want them to pass out in their car, isn't that right, Sid? That's what you said, right? Pretty sure that's what you just said.
Speaking of
Is
people
that
I
on-
don't like,
Good.
Lance Stroll. No, but
Wait, did someone mention Lance Stroll?
yeah. No, but I mean, did you guys see that he pushed
Yeah,
his race
pushed his-
engineer after qualifying?
Got a written,
No.
You didn't see that?
No, no,
He
no.
got a written
he,
warning for
he got
it.
out in Q1, I think.
Yes.
And he hopped out of the car all angry. I mean, I don't know what he was expecting. He's not going to be on pole or anything. And he walked back to his garage, and his race engineer was next to him. And you could see in the shot, Lance Stroll pushed his race engineer along the wall.
Crazy.
And I don't get where that.
Yeah, like,
I
what
mean,
did the race
rage-
engineer do, bro?
It's
Yeah.
like as
I
if he
don't
was
know.
driving the car or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I'm a little bit surprised he hasn't been punished more for that because obviously,
Yeah.
what was it? Who was it? Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
When he shoved Esteban Ocon, got which
Oh,
what an
yeah,
iconic
yeah.
moment. But he got what was it? I mean, it was community service, but it was going to the Formula E race in Marrakesh. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure. But sitting in the stewards'
Wait,
room.
really?
Yeah, he
Okay.
sat in the
I
stewards
didn't
room
rea-
for a Formula E race.
Yeah.
But
Max,
That's funny.
Max was out here raking leaves.
yeah, pretty much. It
Picking
was
up rubbish on the side of the motorway.
yeah, but like I'm surprised that Lance
Yeah, he
Stroll
didn't
didn't
get
get more. I guess
anything.
probably because it was like he got a written warning from the FIA. But
He did,
Yeah.
okay.
Um,
I guess because it's not another driver, so
Yeah.
like no one really
Mm.
cares. Like,
yeah,
Yeah.
but
Well,
it's like,
they care,
I feel
but
like you
it's
should
like-
maybe care slightly more because the driver is a race engineer.
Yeah.
Like they're supposed to be working together.
Yep.
I still think about Max Verstappen pushing Esteban Ocon. One of the funniest moments in F1 history.
It's so good.
It was
Yeah.
so, just the shot. I just think about
Yeah.
it daily.
I saw that race and it was beautiful.
Oh, what a great
Mm.
race!
Yeah, beautiful.
This is what you love about F1, like just the random drama, like
Yeah.
the
We've
like the
not
mi-
had enough
like
beef
oh
recently.
my god,
Yeah.
like the like Rosberg Hamilton, like where like they
Yeah.
throw the hat. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that gets me
Oh.
every time, bro.
Multi 22. Think
Oh,
about
yeah.
it daily.
Multi 22, Sam.
Oh,
Multi-
bro, that's a
Missed that.
classic.
We need to get back to that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
We should do
The
recaps.
drivers are too nice to each other now.
Yeah. We should do recaps of like previous years' races.
That would be fun, actually.
bro.
In the off
I've-
season.
I've wanted
Yep.
for the longest time to just like watch like all of the 2016
Ooh.
like race because I haven't like watched it.
Oh.
Oh my god.
I've only
and-
watched some of the highlights. I've not.
Oh,
watched,
yeah,
I've
yeah,
not watched
like,
the full season of 2016.
You know, obviously
Mm.
I know like the Spain
yeah,
Max's
yeah.
first win, like the iconic like. Oh
Yeah.
my god! Like
Is
every
it,
time,
is it
like
surprising that that's the only race I've seen as well?
well, I haven't seen the whole thing. I
2016.
just know the
Yeah.
iconic. Like he goes on the grass and then Hamilton's
Oh,
like
yeah.
has his hands
Yeah.
over his
Yep.
like helmet because it's just
Yeah.
oh my god,
God.
it's so good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe we should do like in the off season we should watch some
Oh.
classic races. And
that's literally what because there's only 5
Review
races
them.
left and then
Let's do
we
that.
still
Yeah.
got like a lot of the semester, so
yeah,
we should
we've still
like
got uni
we should
time.
do some.
Yeah.
That's actually a good idea. We should do
Yeah.
like
We
yeah,
find
some look backs on like certain seasons or something.
yeah, I don't know if you guys have like favorite retro races, but I've got a few.
Oh,
Yeah, I have
I'll
some as well.
definitely.
That really rainy Brazil. That
Oh,
one.
oh, yes.
What a race.
Yes.
Can't even remember what year it was,
Yep.
but you know the one I mean.
Yeah, rainy Brazil. Uh-huh.
Okay, let's stay focused. guys.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
Cool.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll
Qatar,
keep that.
Qatar.
We'll keep
Qatar.
that for the future.
Qatar,
Yeah, that's
yes.
good ideas though.
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah.
my days. Okay, so
What else happened in Qatar?
Wow.
Well, I would like to say
Mhm.
yeah,
my guy Zhou Guan Yu, 19th
Oh,
to 9th.
Yeah.
My guy, he did it. He got the points.
Yeah.
That's my full. No, he did very well. He had a very good race, coming from pretty much dead last to getting points.
Yeah,
to
the
yeah.
Alphas
Jokes
are
aside,
doing
In the
really
yeah,
well.
Alpha.
Alphas and Alpine were actually
Yeah,
you know,
Alpine was-
surprisingly like drivable.
Yeah, they actually did something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
norm-
like they
yeah,
got
I
a bit
don't know.
lucky with other people's penalties. I know.
Again,
Zhou got
yeah.
a bit lucky with everyone else getting track limits.
Hey, but
But-
points,
True,
points
like,
are
Ga-
points.
yeah, was that
Not
Gasly?
getting track limits penalties is
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
good.
Is a skill.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the track limits being weird as hell.
Oh yeah, they was
Um,
they're so
Yeah.
weird. Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think like Perez along with another driver got like three
Yeah.
penalties of 5 seconds each.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
man, my guy Perez is struggling right now. Speaking about him, that I was seeing Twitter and I mean there were rumors that he will announce his retirement at the Mexican Grand Prix.
Ooh.
Really?
Yeah,
Perez
which-
will announce his
I mean, I
retirement.
guess
Yeah.
he kind of is old. Not old, but you know what I mean. Like
Yes.
he's getting up there
He's
in
an
terms
old
of driving.
man.
He's not
Wait, how old
Fernando
is he?
Alonso.
He's 87.
Yeah. No, that's Jack Corey.
Oh yeah.
No, but then that rumor came out, and then Perez immediately, like within an hour, said that this is not true, and I want to continue for the next 3 or 4 years,
Mhm.
which is kind of more suspicious to me because then drivers don't usually, give any weight to
Yeah.
rumors. And
Yeah.
then
Mhm.
obviously with Perez being in so much pressure right now,
Yeah.
I mean, we've also seen some other rumors that Red Bull has said that if he loses P2 in the championship, Daniel Ricciardo will replace him.
I saw that.
I mean-
I saw that. And it's like, yeah, I saw that. That was crazy.
I will say it's one thing
Looks
for
like
Perez.
I'm gonna be a Hamilton fan now.
it's one thing for Perez to say he wants to continue for another few years.
Yeah.
Does Red Bull want him
Want
to
him to
continue?
continue, yeah.
Like just
Forced retirement.
some would call it getting fired.
Imagine you put that on your CV. I was forced into retirement.
Yeah.
Forced him to retirement at the age of 19 from my McDonald's job.
But other than that, I'm a great guy.
It was a mutual decision.
No, but then, I mean, obviously, if we look ahead, next week is Austin. It's actually this weekend. Yeah. And
Yeah.
Daniel Ricciardo's
Yeah.
back. Woohoo!
Daniel
let's
Ricciardo back for
go.
Austin. You love to see it.
Oh yeah, it's
We're
like
in
his
that terrible,
favorite track.
terrible car.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That
yeah,
Alpha
that's
Tauri
true.
is so
I
bad.
really thought you were about to like talk about cowboy hats.
Yeah,
I was like, I like the cowboy hats
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
They're fun.
Yeah.
No, I'm quite hyped for Austin. I like the Kota track.
Yeah, Kota's nice. Kota's the one
Um,
US track I actually like.
Yeah, it's the only US race I'm excited for
Yeah.
through the season. I love that first turn with where the NASCARs all go right off the track, but we've got track limits. And
Oh yeah.
oh,
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, Kota's been on the calendar
Oh,
for
yeah,
so
yeah,
many
yeah.
years
Yeah.
now.
This is the one I
so-
was talking about last week.
Yeah,
on
you.
the-
Yeah.
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 I like this one a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
That
Photos.
that first turn's really good.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, if you get a good getaway, if you're first, then you're fine. But if the second driver
Hmm.
has
Yeah.
a good start, they just
Yeah.
get the inside line,
Yeah.
and
It-
it's happened so many times.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure wasn't this like Kimi Räikkönen's like no, he didn't win here. Hamilton just beat him, but he almost won here and
Didn't
stuff.
he
Yeah.
win it? Where
Or did he win? I can't remember.
Kimi won here. in
Oh no,
Yeah,
that was the
2017.
because
it was his
I
last
remember.
win, wasn't
yeah,
it?
I remember
Yeah,
the
it was
race
here, it
before
was
he
here.
almost won.
Yeah, it was.
It was this one he won,
It was his
yeah.
last ever win, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So and he was second, and he got the inside
Yeah.
line, and then
It's
Yeah.
definitely a first turn that makes first turns look good.
Yeah.
If that made sense as a sentence, which I
Uh-huh,
don't
uh-huh.
think it did.
Yeah. No, I mean, I love the track as well,
The track's
especially the
good.
first sector.
Yeah.
I mean, if I go to drive it in F1, I suck at it. But then
Yeah.
when you're watching a driver, I mean, turn left, right, in that first sector, that winding
I love
turns,
that, I
it's
love
so
that.
so
that's
satisfying.
You
why
know-
people love like Suzuka. Like
Yeah.
You know what I love about Kota? I truly love that I feel like it has been. It's a Tilke track, right? It was made by Tilke.
Yeah.
But it really feels like he's just stolen bits of European tracks and put them corners
Oh, yeah.
into one Kota track. Like there's a bit that's like Maggots and Beckett's. Like
Oh yeah,
Yup.
yeah.
it's a great.
Yeah,
I love it. Like I say that and it sounds like I'm disparaging, but I genuinely really enjoy it. I think it's great.
Yeah, that's why people. Yeah,
More
it's
tracks
like-
should steal Maggots and Beckett's.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like also like why Silverstone, like all the like iconic tracks that people like. You have like these like really like good like either
Yeah.
high speed like winding like the road where the road weaves a bit, or like you have
Yeah.
like good corners.
You have
pretty
the
much.
the iconic bits. You have Eau Rouge. You have
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
yeah.
Maggots and Beckett's.
Yep. That's true.
You have like what is it? Parabolica. I
Yeah.
just
Oh,
nearly
yeah.
forgot Parabolica's name.
Whoa.
Only the most iconic corner in F1, like up
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. To be fair, it has been renamed, so I won't blame
Has
you.
it?
Yeah.
What the?
It's called
What the-
Ascari's Corner or something.
Oh
What?
yeah, yeah,
come
yeah,
on.
yeah.
It's
yeah.
Parabolica.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Come on.
Mhm.
Let's be real.
Okay,
yeah.
well, other than that race, what are the
I mean-
we've got Mexico City, Brazil, Las Vegas, and
I love
Abu Dhabi.
Brazil.
I love
Oh,
Brazil.
Brazil is
Brazil
I wish
beautiful.
bad.
Brazil should be the last race.
Brazil
it's
should be the
always
last
it's
race.
every year it's always a good race.
It's
no
always a
matter-
banger.
It has never
It's
been a bad,
bad
race. I'm sure
race,
it
yeah.
has, but
literally
Yeah.
every time it's always
It's
good.
always
I
good.
don't know, like it just
Abu Dhabi being the last race makes me so
Like,
upset. Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
so.
I
Like,
mean,
the
it's
thing is,
obviously
like-
only for the sponsors. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's-
oh, yeah.
that track blows.
that track
it's
is
so bad.
awful.
talk
Yeah.
about half the race like tracks, bro. What
That's
about
true,
the
that's true.
sponsors?
I mean,
bro?
speaking of sponsors, Las Vegas. Why?
Yeah.
Why? Just why?
Yeah,
I
we
mean-
need more
I mean-
American races.
Yeah, I saw
I'm
on
excited
Twitter.
to see it, but like we'll see if it's
Yeah.
bad or not. Like I don't know.
Don't have high hopes for it.
Yeah,
I'll be
I saw on Twitter where I mean they're like shutting down all major Las Vegas sites to see just so they can build grandstands for the F1 race.
Oh.
And-
I heard about that.
Yeah, and
Imagine you're
people-
going to Vegas
Yeah.
and then a
On
bunch
that
of people.
day, and you're like everything.
And
bunch
all
of
you
people-
see is scaffolding and metal.
yeah,
That's all
that
you
would be
see.
irritating.
Yeah, and I mean people are pissed. They
Yeah.
do not
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
F1 to go there, which is rightly so.
Yeah, I would.
There's no need.
Yeah, I mean we've already got Miami, Kota.
yeah, this
exactly.
is what
like-
is annoying with like when they're adding more races. Obviously, like who can say no to that? But it's
me,
annoying when
I
they
could
like.
say no to that.
I hate when they shoehorn in like.
Yeah.
Bruh,
To be fair, the
3
FIA has said that they want more teams and less races now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm in agreement. But it's just insane that it's like, oh, we're adding Las Vegas when we don't go to Turkey, and like.
Oh yeah.
There's no track in Germany. Like
Yeah,
Germany.
There's
the
no
fact that we
race.
don't have a German
Hockenheim.
Grand Prix is insane.
It's
Like, come on.
insane. Yes.
Like, what the hell?
we have so many good tracks. Malaysia, South
Yeah.
Africa, obviously Germany.
yeah,
I mean, we're just neglecting them.
yeah, and it
Yeah,
just like
like-
to build like another like parking lot Miami, and it's
it's
like,
so
Yeah.
annoying. Like
come on.
yeah, because it's so obvious. Like it's just whoever has like
whoever has
who
the money.
pays the most money,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
3 American
Instead of, like-
tracks and like
yeah.
all like half like all
Like,
these
it-
tracks in
Qatar,
the Middle East
like-
where it's like
Qatar, yeah.
they're so like some of these are just so
Oil
bad in
money,
the Middle
oil
East. It's
money.
like, bro,
Yeah.
please, I don't want to like
It's either the Middle East or the US.
Yeah.
That's all.
yeah, and,
Mhm.
like
And
those
it's-
need to get cut. Like
Yeah.
It's-
most
We didn't-
of them,
Are we getting a Chinese Grand Prix next year? Is that a thing?
I think so.
I don't know.
I mean, it was
I-
scheduled for this year as
It
well.
was
and
scheduled
then
for this year. Yeah, I think it's happening next year. I
Fair
don't see
enough,
why it wouldn't
fair
be.
enough. Yeah.
I'm
Speaking of, I mean,
not
we're
sure.
going to Qatar earlier next year as well.
No,
we're going
late. We're going in December next year, aren't we?
No, we're going in Feb.
Why have I gone insane?
Yeah.
I swear I read this morning.
Hold on. I mean, we can
Fact
check.
check.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we
you
have-
guys continue. I'm gonna do some research.
Okay.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
I feel-
obviously, yeah, go on.
I was just gonna say I feel like the fact that we have so many amazing tracks already built and they keep wanting to build new tracks is just such
Yeah.
it's such an obvious money grab. Instead of like it's like the fact that there's not a German Grand Prix when German fans have been like
Mm,
the most consistently like
Yeah.
not the most but you know some of the most consistently loyal fans.
they're good fans. Yeah.
Okay, I'm
Like-
sorry. Yeah, it was 20th November to 1st
Was I
December.
right?
I'm sorry, Corey. Yes.
Oh damn.
I've been all over the place today.
I'm a
Damn. Wow.
genius,
Mhm.
guys.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
know my
Yeah.
stuff.
But
I should retire.
yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason why, like, because Abu Dhabi was like the final race when I started watching, but like
Mm.
it's not really like
It sh-
if Brazil was like the final race, it would be like way
Yeah.
better, like for any like for like a championship battle. Because
Obviously.
like every time
yeah.
like you go into a championship fight, it's like most of the time like if you're ahead, like you pretty much win. Like and
yeah.
it's-
Abu Dhabi
yeah.
Abu
Yeah.
Dhabi is just such a
The only race that I
No.
actually liked for Abu Dhabi was obviously the 2021 season.
but it wasn't okay. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
Human
I mean,
error.
you talked about Abu Dhabi.
hu-
I had to bring it up.
Human
sometime.
error champion. Human error champion.
I mean, honestly,
Okay.
I'd have to rewatch it, but apart from like what was it like the start, like it
Oh
wasn't.
yeah, to be
it
fair,
just started
the
again.
start
Where
and
it's like
the ending. That
there's
was
not
the,
really
the,
like
the actual
you-
middle of the
there's
race.
no
was
Yeah.
yeah,
right.
there's just like no overtaking for like most of the race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it,
even
just
after,
in general, not
even
even just
after it's been
2021.
resurfaced and the track's been changed. There's just
Well,
no.
and
But I feel
there's
like-
no like elevation changes or
Yeah.
anything. It's
Yeah.
just like it's like flat and it's got like
Yeah.
right angle turns.
Yeah.
I
like,
wonder if
ugh.
like do you have to like pay like extra to have your race be like the final race of the season? You
I
you
think
must
I
have to,
think
like,
it's
pay
in
a
their
lot.
contract.
100%. 100%.
I'm pretty sure it's in their contract.
Yeah.
But it's such a shame because
That's true.
Brazil should be.
Brazil, like
Or if not Brazil, like some other track.
what other
that's-
track would you want to see that's like the final race of
Oh.
the season? Wait,
I feel like Brazil's got such finale vibes, but
Yeah.
I mean, like really, like imagine a Monza last race or something if Ferrari win
Imagine
the champ.
Silverstone last race.
Ooh,
oof.
Because Silverstone is always banging.
it is. I'm just thinking, imagine a Monza if Ferrari were in the championship fight.
Whoa.
Imagine Monza
Oh
last race.
my
Okay, we're going
God.
too far now.
No,
Imagining
but like-
Ferrari actually winning a championship.
I'm
Whoa.
not saying no. Imagine
That would be
think further than that.
crazy.
Imagine Ferrari losing a championship at Monza.
Oh,
No
my
one's getting out of
God.
there.
People would die.
Yeah. Yes.
And I, for one, would pay to see it.
No.
yeah, I
but
still think just make Brazil. It's not gonna
Yeah.
be,
Yeah.
but
I
Speaking
know.
of
Just
who-
listen to our podcast with 20 listeners.
for
Yes.
if that.
Speaking
Katie's
of,
the only one listening.
Yeah.
Not you.
we appreciate you. I mean, do you think anyone can stop Red Bull next year?
If anyone can, I think it's probably McLaren. By the
If
looks of it.
McLaren
If they
don't
don't,
regress like they
Yeah.
If they
have
don't do
They
done,
their
do for
thing.
the past 5 years.
yeah.
then maybe. But this is the problem with you have so many races. Then it's like, and if Red Bull, you know, they've been winning everything. So like, have they been able to like work on next year's car or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're
It's like
already
stuff like-
working on it.
It's like the
so-
thing with like Mercedes, like you
Yeah,
know, if
7
you're so
years.
dominant,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and if you're like the only like, if you're like the best team, and it's like it's literally just you know, when it was like Hamilton and Bottas, like it was only those two drivers pretty much fighting for the championship, pretty much.
Fighting for is strong words. There.
Yeah, like you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
it's like they can already start working on the car, like making sure, like you know, like having the best car for next year. So
Uh-huh.
it will be, unless they get something wrong.
It'll
like,
be interesting to see. Mhm.
Yeah, I definitely. I mean, it's too soon to say. We can't see their cars yet, but
Yeah.
I do hope someone can bring it to Red Bull, because otherwise I'm going to be bored again.
of course. And
I
this is
want a
another reason
championship
why,
fight.
like,
Yeah, that's true. That's
we
true.
were talking about like all these like races that aren't good,
Mm.
because it's like if you just like cram the like year with like so many races, then it's like when you have that dominant driver or car, like that we've had this year and like last year, then halfway through the season they've pretty much won the championship technically.
Yeah.
Then it just leads with like you have so many races left in the calendar that
Yeah.
like don't matter towards the championship. Of course, you'll have some exciting races in between, but
Yeah.
in regards to an exciting championship,
it
which
amounts
obviously
to nothing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like this is also why you don't want to just like let's just have as many races as we want. It's like yes, but like
And-
no.
And also, like with the having so many races, it's not great for the like workers in the teams and stuff. They like
Yeah,
it's not
because you have to fly around.
so
you have to,
hectic, yeah.
and
Yeah.
all the infrastructure, like
Everything.
you know,
yeah.
Monaco like full on builds it up
Yeah.
around the street. Like you know,
Yeah.
this
yeah.
this doesn't just happen overnight.
And
well,
like
it does. but
flying, well, yeah,
You've got to fly out
Monaco's
all the
well
cars and
practiced.
everything.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
it's so much work for the team because it's like especially the like we're going into a triple header, right?
Yep. That's
Like
triple A.
yeah, that's insane. Like,
like
back to
the
yeah.
turnaround with the flights and then you're packing
yeah.
up on a Sunday
You have to,
night
like, go- yeah.
fly on a Monday morning, and
Yep.
it's just like that can't be sustainable for the workers.
Mm.
Like people have families that they would like to see it, I'm pretty sure. I mean, unless they hate them, but that
Sick.
can't be all of them.
You've been sentenced to 6 months. You can't see anyone.
I mean, but the calendar doesn't make sense if you want to like preserve fuel
we see
and
this,
like
yeah.
save.
Mm.
you see this
uh,
every year when they release the calendar. It's like,
Yeah.
why are we going from Europe all the way to like
Yeah.
America? Then we're going to Middle East and it's back. It's
Yeah.
like have the
Yeah.
like European section, have like the American,
American
section,
section,
where
yeah.
it goes to like and like South America.
Then
like
have
you
the
go to
Middle
Brazil.
East.
Then you have the why are we flying back and forth? Like it makes
Yeah.
no sense.
And it's not like not to be like environmentally conscious on an F1
Exactly.
podcast, but it's not good for the environment.
Yeah,
at
exactly.
all.
No, that's
Like
exactly
it's
right.
so dumb.
F1 has carbon neutrality goals, and I don't see how it's reaching them with that amount of flying. Like,
no,
Yeah.
like I don't know.
Because they can make the cars like 100% carbon neutral by 2030, but then the cars amount for nothing
Yeah,
if you see the gigantic planes
the
going from.
like I feel like that's such a thing to explain to non-F1 fans is the cars are really not the carbon problem.
Yeah, the cars
Like-
are not the issue.
Like they're pretty efficient.
Yeah.
Like,
They're
let's
so
not get me
efficient.
wrong.
Yeah,
They're
it's-
cars,
yeah,
but they're just cars.
yeah.
Like normally you have like a European section where you have all the races, but then like there's just like a random Canadian GP like in the middle. Like why are we
Yeah.
flying there? Like
Exactly.
just have it like before or after that.
Yeah,
like
like why is
who's-
that? Why is
who's
that not
making-
next to
like
Qatar?
I understand like it's all like you have to plan it out like way before, but like come on, like
Yeah, like, I feel
or like schedule it. You know what I mean? Like, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
it just makes no sense at all.
I
That's
love
true.
the Canadian Grand
Like, we're
Prix.
going-
That's such a tangent,
Oh
but
my
like
God.
you just mentioned it, and I love that race. Not
Yeah.
even like this a specific
good
race.
race,
I like
yeah.
that track. I
Yeah, it's a
think
good
very
track.
fun.
It's a good track.
Canadian Grand Prix is nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I love the Wall of Champions. I think it's
Yeah,
so
I
funny.
was gonna mention
Oh, yeah.
that. Or,
I think
Wall
it's
of
so
Champions.
funny.
Yeah.
it's
Mhm.
good. And every time, like, yeah, like the back hang. Oh, it's good.
Yeah.
It just kisses the wall. It's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
good.
That's true. I mean, that's pretty much all we have
Yeah, I
to talk
think we-
about.
We've
But I think we
spoken a
wa-
lot.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think we waffled pretty good. I don't know how long that was,
I
but
think we've said we like Brazil quite a lot now.
Yes.
But yeah,
Mhm.
bro, it's good. I can't wait for it, but
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
gotta wait.
it's
I
about
think
the
we
only
spoke
race I'm
about-
still excited for.
Yeah, we spoke about everything else apart from what we were actually supposed to speak about Qatar.
Hey, we did speak a little bit about
yeah,
Qatar.
yeah. to be
I
fair.
mentioned Zhou Guanyu, and that is all I come on
Yes.
this podcast to do.
Oh, you came up with a name, right?
What?
For him getting points.
Joints?
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
found
god.
that.
we-
Let's
we've
end
also-
the podcast.
No,
Yeah.
I would like to say every time he does an overtake, that is a Jovertake. And back in the old F2 era, where I still experienced joy when he was in F2, I would sometimes get a Jodium.
okay. Thanks for listening,
And,
guys.
Corey's a genius.
I'm cringing.
He's a
And-
genius.
This is bad.
Yeah.
No, it's the best thing in the world. I can
Alright,
do
well,
it with other drivers as
I
well
don't
if you
think we'll be
want.
seeing what is that, a
Piastrodium-
Jodium? I don't think we'll
Piastrodium?
see one of these
A
podium.
Landodium? A
I
Landodium?
don't think we'll be seeing one of these anytime soon, but we'll
Hey.
see.
Hey, I'm all for joints,
Hopefully.
okay?
Hey, look, I take what I can get.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's true. Happy with the points, but
Yes.
yeah. Well, thanks. I think we waffled on long enough, so
Yeah.
I guess we'll see if we have a podcast next week, an episode. But other than that, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next
we
time.
should come up
Goodbye.
with a name next
We-
time.
we
but-
really
yeah.
should.
we
have a
should
name.
we should have one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, we'll
alright,
do that.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Right. That's it for this time. See you guys.
bye.
Bye.